broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
Tonight is the night. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another Gotham AfterBuzz After Show, Season 2, Episode 8. Tonight is the night. Clearly, that's the episode's name. I am your host, Michael Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_Drew, Michael EAL. I'm here joined by Mr. Steve Kaufmann.
Yeah, you are. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. Some of your enthusiasm rubbed off on me.
Well, hey, thank you.
I won't let it happen again.
Steve. Next to Steve, we have Miss.
Hi, I'm Monse Bolanos.
I want to say your name, Monse.
Did you want to?
That's usually my thing. I like,
Is it?
I usually go
seem
Monse.
like it. I didn't seem like you were gonna get it.
All right.
There was a pause there.
There was a thank you.
There was a
noticeable
beat.
pause.
Well, I had drama.
One beat is enough for me to get in there. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos. Monse spelled M-O-N-S-E.
And next to Miss Monse Bolanos, we have our special guest, Mr. Ben Begley. Ben!
Yeah, how's it going? Hey, you can find me at the Ben Begley. There we go.
That's it. My man, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I host a show on this network on Popcorn Talk, AfterBuzz, and all that good stuff in conjunction with the Schmoes called Guilty Movie Pleasures with Josh McCouga. And we talk about ridiculously awesome 80s and 90s movies, and of today. John Wick was one of them, of the recent ones we've done.
John Wick.
Fantastic film. Fantastic.
In the vein of Gotham.
I will take your word.
Fantastic film. But yeah, and stuff like that, you know, and...
Okay,
are we going to segue into that?
Oh, please.
Here we go.
No, my man. Please let us know about the other thing you're doing. You're also here promoting your film Funhouse Massacre.
Yeah. My wife and I, we wrote this horror comedy called The Funhouse Massacre, and we play two of the lead heroes in it. I play kind of the clueless deputy who rises up to become an action hero in his own mind, and then my wife plays the kind of soft-spoken girl who becomes a badass by the end, and she's kind of like the final girl type, and
like Lee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like a little bit like Lee.
Okay, go ahead.
And we have kind of and what's funny is that the reason I'm a huge fan of Gotham, and I'm a huge fan of DC Comics, and our movie, it's about these 6 maniacs that break out of an asylum and descend upon a funhouse based on their crimes, and our maniacs are heavily influenced by real-life serial killers mixed with Arkham Asylum.
It sounds like an Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, we have a guy named Rocco who is an ex-pro wrestler who in the movie rips off a guy's face and wears it, and it's a clown face the rest of the... So he's like a clown leather face meets Bane, and he's African-American, which is cool because I haven't seen, other than Candyman, an African-American slasher out there. Like one of Jason, all those guys, you know? So it's and we have a doll face character who's kind of like Harley Quinn, so... Comes out in theaters this Friday the 13th nationwide.
That's spooky.
You scared me talking to you.
Yeah, it's a comedy though. It's more funny than anything. It's hilarious when he rips his face off.
So it's a comedy?
Yeah, it's more in the vein of like Shaun of the Dead, Cabin in the Woods than something like a Saw or anything like that.
Okay.
It's a throwback to 80s and 90s slashers. You can find it at funhousemassacremovie.com.
And it also has Robert Englund, right?
Yeah, Robert Englund. Freddy Krueger himself.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's like the coolest guy on the planet. And we got Jerry Burns, who's been in Justified, all kinds of stuff. Scotty Thompson on NCIS and things like that. It's just a really good cast. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm a huge fan of this show and everything, so it's good to be here.
Okay, well, everybody, your initial thoughts.
Ooh.
Jeff, we'll start with you. Your initial thoughts on this episode.
What's that? You say Jeff? Oh, I'm Ben. Hey,
Ben. Sorry.
I was letting that slide.
I was like, because I brain farted for a second. I was like, Steve's name's Jeff?
No, because I know of a Jeff Begley. That's why.
That's totally fine. Fine.
Ben, your initial thoughts on today's episode.
Well, I've marathoned the last 4 episodes because I was behind, and so it's been a whirlwind of emotion this last few episodes. This one was intense. This one, I don't want to get into too much of it because I'm sure we'll get there, but the Barbara Jim showdown moment is awesome, and I just think that they're building up a lot of really cool stuff, and they're last season built everybody up, and this season's unleashing them, and this felt like a really good. We were talking about it felt like a mid-season cliffhanger. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's my initial thoughts.
Okay, I'll co-sign that.
Yeah.
Monse?
I loved this episode. This might be top 3 favorite episodes for me. Like, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I didn't even take that many notes because I was just so into it. I love that Barbara's not dead. I mean, I hate her.
Yeah.
Like, I hate,
You've been crying for her death lately, haven't you?
No, I don't want her to die. I just think that Jim's gonna kill her, and when he did have her at gunpoint, I was like, kill her, because then I'll be right, kill her. But since she didn't die that way, since she fell out of a window, I'm glad she's not dead. So that Jim can't kill her.
So you would rather her just point blank shoot her in the...
I thought we were getting that.
Yeah. I mean, she deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
She's
a psychopath.
Evil.
Damn, Monse.
And she's so... And I just...
breaking the table.
Damn.
And I don't want her dead. I don't want her to be dead yet because she's doing such a good job with it. And like after season 1 where they let her do nothing and just basically stand there and be pretty girl in the background, now it's like she has a character and she is so good from going from evil to like normal to evil and then worse than...
She doesn't force it either. Like some actors when they play evil force it. She's so good.
She's
like, I'm crazy.
Like she must feel a little weird about how naturally she can find that place. Like, no, I'm just insane.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just crazy in the backstage, and that's what made them turn her into that character.
Like,
she's actually really crazy. Just put it in the script.
Just put it in the script.
Just do it.
She's crazy back there next to the...
Come on, shout out to your look right now. You got the Joker purple lipstick.
Thank you.
Okay.
I wore my Joker shirt that I wore last season. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
I wore it last season. And then I was going to wear it when I thought we were going to get more Joker, and then he died unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Very unexpected.
So here it is now.
Some of us.
We're arch enemies though, because I have old school Batman.
Yeah, mine's pretty old school too.
I mean, this is like
a lot older.
Yeah.
This is like comic strip Batman, like 30s.
That's true.
I was not alive then.
Yeah.
I didn't get the comic book shirt memo.
Well,
I got the.
you need to get it
I got the
together.
crazy lumberjack memo. All right,
At least
so
that's usually the memo I get.
see, and you didn't follow it either.
I ignore it usually, but I get it.
Steve, your thoughts on this episode?
Oh, I really enjoyed this episode, minus all the Riddler stuff up until the Penguin. Like I just we're literally in the woods. You're not moving forward at all. You're just burying a character you already killed and kind of took care of. I was over it.
You know what? Speaking of, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then we needed to know why he was in. Then we found out why he was in the woods.
Yeah.
Everything was set up. It's like, oh, okay, I'm in.
All right. Well, you know what? To piggyback off that.
Let's start
Speaking
there,
of Nigma.
Yeah, let's start with Nigma.
Well, I wasn't. The way it went in the beginning, it felt like it was just coinciding with everything we said last week and how like his best storyline is done now, and we're curious to what he's gonna do. And this episode, the majority of it just felt like it was for him was useless and dragging.
You guys didn't enjoy when he was like carrying the suitcase? He's like, "Oh, sorry, Miss Kringle," and just
that was pretty darkly comedic. I like that. I like
stuff. And I really enjoyed that it was just one-sided Enigma. That he wasn't split. He was like the good one or whatever, and he wanted to have a final meal. Like, I really enjoyed it. I get what you were saying. It was like, we don't need this in a sense.
I love the random southern hunter that came out of nowhere, because apparently Gotham's near the south when you go out to the woods. What are you doing out here, man?
Well, no, he went all the way down to Texas.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
That guy came out of nowhere.
That's actually pretty smart though to get rid of a body. But yeah, and it was just so. It was pretty like I liked the banter. I enjoyed when he was toasting to Miss Kringle because he went to the woods to bury her body. But I guess he's full on super confident, mixed half confident, half cocky. Nigma. He has no doubts about what he's doing now, and I don't know. I think it happened too fast, I guess. Because from last week to this, he's all right. Sorry, Kringle. Thank you for releasing the real me.
But I mean, it's true. It's like once she was killed, what else were they gonna do?
I mean, I hear you.
So it's just like,
They literally dug a grave with him, and they're lying in it.
Yeah, but that's
I'm tying everything back to
first. Kudos on that. That was well done, Steve.
That's what I'm here
appreciate
for.
that. I like that little button.
It's like the two sentence buttons. To be like, oh, that's what it is.
But that's what I mean in that like it's just very much. It just pretty much proves that our last week's point in that it fine. They probably shouldn't have killed Kringle yet.
Right.
But it's only one episode, but still, that was the feeling I had every time I saw him. I'm like,
But
oh,
looking
okay.
forward that he's clearly paired with Penguin, and they're clearly trying to take down Gallivan or whoever's left of Gallivan's faction.
Right.
It makes sense for the next 2 weeks that he had to get here. Kringle could have been alive for this.
Yeah.
I am
could've-
very unexcited. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No, I
interrupt
was
you,
just
but-
going to say it could have been much more interesting if we were talking about this before, how if he had to hide all these murderous intents and racking up more of a body count while falling deeper in love with Kringle. It just would have been so much more interesting to play with, because now he's just evil and there's no duality to him. It's just like, I'm a sociopath now.
Yeah.
Like, even if we still see the duality in Riddler, where like he can look in the mirror and it's a different him, there's no one to anchor him. Now he's just off on his own.
Yeah.
Whereas Kringle like anchored him.
And did Penguin actually eat the sandwich, or was that like...
Penguin had to eat unless there's another bloody guy running around these woods. That someone in the chat was like, or Betsy in the chat was like, that was more like Tennessee. Because if you're headed south from Chicago, which is kind of where Gotham is,
Okay.
we're not getting too technical.
I appreciate the geography. Thank you.
Also, congrats on being way first on Google Plus that you just got Betsy.
That-
Like, you're
Yeah.
just Betsy in the chat. Like, congrats. That's like being at B on Twitter. Like, you were there first.
So yeah, so
That's
I
important.
that is so I just very it just and when the Penguin showed up, I'm just very unenthused about their pairing.
What?
Really?
Get out of here. Go
I'm
take a lap.
unenthused about their pairing.
Crazy.
Really?
I just don't want to see it yet. I'm not against them pairing together, but when I saw them together, I'm just like, oh, okay, the Penguin came out. I mean, I guess that's interesting, but I didn't really want to. I don't know. I felt forced to
You're-
me.
I feel like it's 3 against 1 right now.
I think
Well,
you're a
move
little-
to
I
the
prefer
side of the
that.
table.
And
bother
then
me.
once we wait till the chat to catch up to you, we'll
Yeah.
have more
Everyone
fun.
can be
Everyone's
against me.
good.
But you're not a fan of this pairing?
It's like Jim in Gotham. He's in a corrupt area and everyone's against him. See, it's 1-on-3.
So you just think it's too fast.
Too fast, yeah. I just
That's
think
all.
it. When I
But
just
think
it's
about
just too-
it. It's perfect, because how else would Penguin take down Gallivan at this
They don't
point?
need the Riddler for that. They don't need. He doesn't
But
need
he
Nigma
needs
for that.
somebody.
But no, I know. I feel like maybe I'm just harping on last week's on the problem with last week with I guess 2 weeks ago when they killed Kringle, and that all of this they could have done this without the Riddler, and they could just let Nigma have his own separate storyline until the end. They didn't need to speed it up and then, hey, I met the Penguin, and now it's the Rogues Gallery of Gotham.
I guess from a less fragmented story standpoint, for me, it's more interesting to see people coming together than constantly following little fragments of a story of somebody, which I think is what I had an issue with first season was, and I think a lot of people had an issue with, was that it wasn't building fast enough.
Yeah.
And now maybe they pulled a little bit of
Overcorrection?
Overcorrection, a little bit.
Well, because
Yeah.
first season was literally building up
Right.
to the season we're at right now, like Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Court of Owls is this thing in the basement. There's the rich people who are kind of running Gotham. Like, they spent 22 weeks
Yeah.
building to that. So I do agree. I would rather they go faster than slower, because
Yeah.
we've seen them go slow.
I just hope they don't run out of
Yeah,
ideas.
Yeah.
So they found the sandwich. So I guess the sandwich was eaten by the Penguin.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess.
So the
And-
Penguin's just walking around like, oh,
Or they-
sandwich, and then he runs.
Well, he needs to stay alive. He just got shot at. Like,
If Penguin did not eat that sandwich, then there's another person that now Penguin and Nigma have to go kill.
yeah.
Which just seems like an unnecessary step for, like, they have to go back to Gotham and take back Gotham.
But was he was hanging in that trailer and he went out to hunt, and instead of hunting was like, ooh, sandwich, and then just went back? Is that feasibly
that's so
what happened?
Penguin.
That's so
That's-
Penguin.
I guess
of him.
that's Penguin.
It's like,
That is.
oh, I can't do this, but I'm gonna go hunt.
Yeah,
And then he makes it like 10 steps, like, oh, a sandwich and wine.
and I'm sure he saw a dead
Yeah.
body, and he was like, all right.
Well, it's Gotham. I guess that's not too crazy.
Right. He's like, cool. There's
But was
probably
he-
somebody I know.
But was he dead or just unconscious? Because that's the longest unconscious.
No, I
He
think he
got-
was dead. I think he knocked
I
him
think
out.
blunt
Like,
force trauma to the
yeah.
head
Yeah.
killed him. I mean, that shovel broke.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't
Did it
seem to
break?
care enough about Kringle to dig another grave for that random dude.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, you could share a grave with, what's his, Larry.
Yeah.
His name's Larry.
He even makes
But
a
he looks like a
comment
Larry. He looks like a Larry.
Looks like a Larry.
when he's like, it's gonna get a tad crowded in there as he's gonna go look for everyone else. It's like, dude, That's it.
You
don't care anymore.
You didn't break the shovel. Like, you could build more graves. You can dig more graves.
I do wonder if we would be complaining if they dragged out his split personality for a few more. If after a while it would have kind of drove us nuts with this whole like, who are you? Leave me alone thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe after a while it would have gotten.
I'm cool with
old.
I'm cool with the split personality ending. But I just wasn't cool with. I wasn't cool with Kringle. Ending.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it could have been. There's just so much more to it.
She was great too.
She was
That
a great. She was a
Yeah.
really good actress, and she wasn't bad on the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
I do indeed know what you're saying.
Mr. Begley, you know
I
what I'm
do know
talking
what you're saying.
Is that your,
Don't tell my wife.
Is that your Thurston Howell? Is that
That's
your,
my first and hell, the third, right?
so you're back on my side now.
Yeah, I'm back on it. I'm wishy-washy.
Good.
Michael, doing shows with you is like one of my favorites because of that. Because I know exactly who you're to every show. When someone comes up, he's like, Monse, am I right? Am I right? And I was just about to say, she was cute. Miss Kringle, she's very cute.
I'm very, you gotta, I like shout out the attractive characters.
Well, I like her hair too. It was very 1940s.
Yes,
She looked
it
very. It's just a classy.
And she was sweet, but then she was kind of like, she liked them stern. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This girl.
Not stern enough, not so stern that, she gets strangled to death.
Yes.
That was a little, he took the note too far, like the
Yeah.
writers, apparently.
Hey, Mr. Begley.
I love this show. I'm not
job.
dogging it. I love this show.
Okay, so wrapping up the Enigma stuff. So he finds a trailer. He finds a penguin. Yeah, and Penguin comes out like a zombie.
Yeah. They did come out really dramatically.
yeah, I thought it was some type of dream sequence or something. Like, he came out
Very strange.
not human. Very.
Sorry, that was my penguin.
That was very accurate.
Thank
It was
you.
fairly accurate.
I've attended acting classes.
It shows.
Thank you.
Your Meisner is fantastic.
So going from that, I guess we'll go on to Bruce.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
So, starting with Lil Wayne, the whole episode starts off with Theo, where everyone pretty much breaks off from Theo, where Barbara goes into her direction, and then Theo goes to his plan. And Theo's plan is pretty much to have Barbara distract James while Theo goes after Bruce and tries to take his company.
Yes.
He has a complete plan to have him sign it over.
By the end of the day.
Because
By the end of the day.
he has in one envelope with a cool little stamp on it. That seal, a wax seal, I should say. Everything that Bruce needs to know about his dead parents.
Seriously,
in one
everything.
envelope.
He's like, why, when,
Do you think he
where,
really
how?
has it in there?
No,
of course not.
He could just set somebody up.
It's a
I think
MacGuffin.
Well, it is MacGuffin for the story, but I honestly think it said who did kill his parents.
It's probably not.
And it's Theo Gallivan.
Yeah, but do you...
I think the second.
I think Theo did it, yeah.
I think Theo did it, and I think he didn't. The second Lil Wayne, he's known around here as Lil Wayne. I forgot to tell you.
I like it.
The second Lil Wayne signs the company over to Theo Gallivan, he's of no use to him.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I killed him. By the way, you're dead too.
Oh, but he
I'm
doesn't
Theo
know.
Gallivan. I don't care.
Man.
I'm Theo Gallivan.
He would do that.
I'm the honey badger of the Gotham
He
universe.
doesn't know what Alfred can bring, though. Alfred would bring the
Right?
thunder.
Honey badger.
More than the thunder. I
And then,
love Alfred.
and then Gotham is the honey badger of TV shows. Of comic book TV shows, at least.
This guy keeps mentioning honey badgers from last week to this week, and it keeps going.
There was a video in our comments explaining
Yes,
where
I
this
know.
where this meme came from.
I didn't watch it.
I'm
because I
so
was offended
confused
I
by
didn't
this
know.
honey badger. I thought you were talking about honeycombs, the delicious children's cereal.
That would make more sense to me. I'm like,
I
it's
don't
like
understand the honey
honeycombs.
badger.
Nah.
All right, so he goes to Bruce and he offers Bruce. He tells Bruce that I have the information on your parents' killer. If you sign it over to me, I'll give you everything.
Sign your 51 shares.
Yeah,
over
so
to me.
it's like right there. That I mean, he's a kid. Bruce isn't gonna know.
Puts him in a
right
terrible
there,
place.
I know, but right there it shows you that Theo is like, just like Alfred ends up telling him, oh,
Right.
it's extortion.
Right.
yeah,
Good old
could have
Alfred.
negotiated.
know.
I love that this 12-year-old Lil Wayne knows enough to say there's a thin line between extortion and negotiation.
Yeah.
What? This is we already know he's a very mature 12-year-old, but that's even mature for Lil Wayne to say.
That's true. I don't think I knew what extortion was at 12.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Or the difference between that and negotiation.
Sorry.
I was probably thinking I was negotiating and just getting extorted.
I would need Alfred to explain everything to me.
Yeah.
Alfred.
I honestly don't. I think he would need Alfred's consent to even do that.
Yeah.
Which is why Alfred was there. I don't know why Alfred was going along with him, but Alfred's working with Lucius Fox, who I think Lucius Fox is one of the faces that runs the place.
I want more Lucius Fox.
I
That
want
was
so
awesome.
much more Lucius Fox.
He's probably going to come during the second half of the season. Probably come back. I think.
I thought you were going to say he was going to come during the second half of our show. I was
Here
like,
he
yeah!
Loved you
He's
on
a
the
way
newsroom.
cooler guest than me. I will gladly sit on the couch for him.
I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I would say that. Damn, I lost my train of thought. So Lucius.
We would say that Pennyworth.
Pennyworth.
Sorry, that Alfred Pennyworth is going
that's what
to
it is.
save.
All right. I think this is Alfred was training. This is some form of him training him by letting him make decisions like this.
I agree. I think he was like, you need to realize that this is wrong. Like, you need to realize
Not
it.
me tell
Instead
you,
of
yeah.
me tell you. That's why, because it seemed like he was just going to let him do it. And then right when he was like, oh, I can't sign this, it was like, yes, you are right. You cannot be signing this, and you needed to figure this out on your own.
Because Alfred's all about Bruce becoming his own man and
Exactly.
not under anybody else's control.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything between them in this episode was so, especially at the end everything, it was just so real between them, and you don't really get that. It's always just like
Between
kind
Alfred
of,
and
it's,
Bruce?
it's never serious between them. It's very lighthearted, and now this was like such a serious topic, serious conversation. I mean, he straight up asked him, how long is it going to take for me to train to be able to take down the people that are ruining Wayne Enterprises?
And Alfred just keeps it real with him. Like, this dude's like, not next year.
Not even in 10 years, maybe. Like,
Well, I mean, you need to go to where's Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah.
In this world. I was about to say Nanda Parbat, and I'm like, not in this. That's a different show altogether.
Snow Mountain.
Yeah, like that's Snow Mountain. And
The
you gotta,
CW.
Yeah, you gotta burn that flower and inhale it, and then
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's there.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a really long time.
Yeah. It's gonna.
You're gonna look like Christian Bale.
yeah.
Did you guys notice the conversation that they were having in the Batcave between Alfred and Bruce? Like the surrounding, it was very. I mean, I know it's the Batcave, but it was very Batcave-ish. Like they had like this purple coloring in the background. It looked really like the environment was very. It looked very Batcave centric. It was very.
Batcavey.
Very Batcave. When I was watching, I was like, wow, they're really in the Batcave right now.
Yeah, they're starting to really amp up the headquarters down there.
Yeah.
I feel like they're
I like
starting
the way
to
you
really
said that.
Yeah.
Amp up the headquarters.
The
You dropped
headquarters. I did. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, because you got overcome by the bat.
By the bat. I just started. Yeah, I was like, it was me verging towards the Christian Bale Batman voice, and then it's just incoherent. Oh man.
He must have friends.
Yeah. So I know we also saw Bruce become emotional. He was crying on Alfred, which I don't think we've seen Bruce cry
That's
yet.
insane. Yeah.
Last
In
season.
the pilot, he cried. Like which is realistic.
Obvi.
He should show emotion.
Yeah.
He's not Anakin Skywalker. Oh,
Damn.
I feel like a week doesn't go by where somebody rags on the Star Wars movies around me, and I'm one of them usually too.
it's usually
The prequels, I should say.
it was
the
some,
prequels.
the not original trilogy.
Yeah.
Steve, do you want to lose microphone privileges again?
What, am I not allowed to throw shade on the?
Okay, so
Have you
don't worry, he's
lost
turned up.
microphone privileges?
we're testing it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see where he goes because sometimes Steve can get a little crazy, specifically theory wise. Not today though.
I'm usually correct, but we'll move on.
Really? All right. That's not what you said before the show started to me. Right before the show started, what'd you say to me?
That I was right? I don't know what I said.
I heard
you know
something
what?
too.
He said, you know what? I don't think some of my theories are gonna happen.
After tonight's
That's what he said.
episode.
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
I heard it too.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
I
that's
think you
what you
guys
said
are putting words in my mouth, but I think we can move on.
And then in my head, I felt good about myself. I was
Look
like,
at how
yes.
the shifting of power keeps happening. Now it's all three of us against Steve. Eventually, everybody will be against me, and I'll just leave.
Because you don't have to. You're not a permanent fixture here.
You don't have to come back next week. So the situation with Bruce, it ends with him not signing Theo's paperwork, and then Theo ends up getting arrested by James
And punched.
punched.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that.
I know, but it wasn't I don't know. I would have thought a punch from James would have sent him back.
He just was
like,
like,
ugh.
why, James?
Like, huh.
Tell me why you punched me.
You hit me.
Well, I mean, he's got some evil behind him, so maybe
Yeah,
it's
But
like
he's all frail. He's kind of frail.
Right. It's like Tabitha handles all the dirty work
Yeah,
and the heavy
she's
work.
awesome.
So exactly. So I was also shocked by that. I was like, that did nothing for you?
But it looks like he has an under.
He broke
Gallivan
his
has
nose or
it-
something.
Gallivan has an underestimated fighting ability to him. That maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Like an old school Irish boxer or something,
Yes.
you know? He's scrappy in the ring.
Put him up.
He could just take a lot of punches. Yeah, just like that. Oh, guys, I love you guys. This is an awesome panel today. So, so how we got there with James somehow arresting Theo, we zoom all the way back, and Barbara shows up at the GCPD to start her part of the plan, and she just shows up.
Yeah.
Full on Kevin Spacey and Seven style, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hey.
I love that because it happened. You even made a comment how quickly they moved. Because
my favorite part of this
seconds
season.
before that, yes, this is the day you get to kill Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
And then you think it's going to be like this entire episode, get to the end. And nope, she's like, I'm right here.
Yeah, because even when the
Hey.
show starts off, Jim, he's already talking to Barnes, like, listen, it's Gallivan. He's not
Yeah.
trying to convince him. Every episode is boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom means
Is
faster.
nobody
Yeah.
going to talk about
Yeah.
that creepy dream sequence we opened on?
The Terry
yes.
Gilliam-ish
Oh
weird
my God,
dream
yes.
sequence. Looked like something out of 12 Monkeys or Time Bandits.
I would
Yeah.
like. I can't wait till that's on YouTube tomorrow and watch that a couple of times. Like that's this.
The dream sequence?
Like I love
So awesome.
Love
She,
a
like-
good dream sequence that plays into.
Did she
it.
like throw up
Yeah.
a crow or something at one
Yeah,
point?
She got a crow stuck in her
yeah.
mouth.
And they pulled it out. Oh, it was gross.
So bizarre.
That whole thing, I was like, oh, she's having a nightmare. Oh.
Yeah.
Poor crazy lady.
Yeah.
Crazy. I thought it was
Oh,
really
everything
cool
about,
how
like-
Yeah.
they shot it and everything.
Because then you
Good.
can weirdly dive into the psyche of a character and not be written off as like too artsy.
Right.
The Sopranos did that a lot.
Right.
Where like, no, we're just gonna have a whole episode where it's Tony's dreams.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
they
what
did
this
that.
reminded me of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can just jump into somebody's head as long as they wake up.
Yeah.
As long as they wake up at the end, that's the convention.
Somebody was really all the Arkham people were super creepy.
Yeah.
It was unnerving.
And then
I
Jim
liked
Gordon had a whole wedding party, none
Right.
of whom were Bullock.
it.
That's
How
true.
rude.
They were all just extras.
That's
They
true.
were all.
know.
There were
Yeah.
like 8 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't seen any of these people. And we've been following Jim Gordon for a
It,
long time.
it costs less to have extras on that day
That's
Yeah, I
true.
guess.
It's true.
than a series lead that has no lines in the scene. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, these are a lot
These
more
are your
expensive.
friends, Jim.
So
These are non-union extras.
So we end up moving forward. Then they end up having the interrogation. They start interrogating her, and Jim I don't want to say he gets lost in the matrix of Barbara.
You think that's what it was?
He fully gets involved with this.
But I don't
he's
think
fully
he got.
on.
Because are you saying that she did that to him?
No, I think the moment she came, he wasn't as logical as he normally is. He was fully in and super passionate, trying to get info from her, and he was like riding the rail.
I think we're on the
Come
same
to
page.
this side of the table.
I want to hear your opinion first, though.
Begley, don't do this to me, bro.
I think he was.
I'm never coming back. I'm never going to be invited back. Oh, man.
I think he was being completely logical in his head. Like he was like, "No, she still loves me. I am going to basically screw with her head, like she's been doing to all of us." But I think in his head, he was being completely logical. He knew what he was doing. He just thought it was going to work.
I think he was I think he was playing her the whole time because
whole time, yeah.
even as from an acting standpoint, the way he talked to her
Was different.
than he talked to her when he was in love with her, and different than he talks to Lee.
And-
it was almost like he was putting on this kind of like lovey-dovey,
Yeah.
everything's okay thing.
He was
So-
smiling
Yeah.
through the
and
question.
we know Jim Gordon never smiles on
Yeah.
the show.
No, I know. I thought
They
that
should
was
call
all
him
in
Grim Jordan.
Ah,
Heyo, hashtag. I'm getting my dad jokes. I'm getting all my puns out. I'm not
we
dad
usually
yet.
have a pun jar
There's
full of
a-
money.
Oh, perfect.
You
Oh,
are.
good.
Hell, you might fit better here than I do. This is dropping punts, getting along with you guys. What is going on?
there's actually a young man who's going to college right now on our pun jar. That's how many puns we did in season
Seriously.
1.
Fantastic.
Just season
Called
1
you
pun
Jeff?
jar was a.
It's called you Jeff. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
It was all since then. Oh, it was all since then.
I'm gonna plead with you like Jim did Barbara. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You have to
babe.
smile.
I'm sorry. That's a
That's the
creepy smile.
Jim smile.
Hey, I'm sorry.
That's what he was doing.
That's how Jim's happy.
It was awful. I was like, no, don't do it. It doesn't
No.
work.
And then he kissed her.
Oh, that was
The kiss
That was ballsy.
I mean, look, it did all look like he was trying, but I'm just saying that I feel he was willing to put more on the line because he really wants to save Barbara.
But I think Barbara still played
Because Barbara
him.
means a lot to him.
I think Barbara played him, but not as much as she thought. Because she's not a reliable. She doesn't have reliable logic.
Yeah.
But in her mind, it's like, no, he's just so head over heels in love with me, and I just know him so perfectly
Right.
that everything will go exactly as I plan it, and I'll blunderbuss him in the face.
Right.
All right, quick question, guys. What do you think Barbara's plan was?
She was gonna kill him.
She was gonna mess with him for like an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
She wanted to torture them, especially when Tabitha's like, savor every moment.
Yeah, like she was gonna kill Lee in front of.
Yeah.
In
front of.
Yeah. In front of
100%.
Gordon, and then kill Gordon.
I think her plan was for Jim to kill her to let Jim free, to let the real Jim come out.
Ooh.
That's what I was getting by the end. I was like, I think that's her plan. I think her plan was to let him kill her because she keeps trying to unlock his inner crazy.
But then she wouldn't get him.
She doesn't care. She just wants him to be free.
Her ultimate one is him.
No,
But
when
then
he had the gun on her, she was full on. Come on, get rid of me.
But that's why she wanted to interrogate both of them. If she wanted to figure out, like, if you're really in love with Lee and not with me, I pulled a rhyme. It happened.
Yeah,
That you're both gonna die because I'm crazy and I can do that.
Right.
Whereas she wanted to find if there was any inkling in him that he actually loved her, that she would save him and keep him. I don't think that inkling's there, but I do think there's a very dark Jim Gordon that we're probably going to see for the rest of the
So then
season.
after the breakout and when they're squaring off, what do you think she wants from him when she's trying to say, like, kill him? Basically, like, when she lets herself go at the end. That's where I kind of lean towards both because, and you even said that her logic is her logic is. I can't. I'm in the middle, literally, of the tape. So no, I think that it could go both ways because her logic is so flawed and she's so fractured as a human being that maybe she went in thinking that, and like you said, she wanted him to show love for her instead of Lee. That didn't happen. She realizes she doesn't have anything left, and that's why she lets go. And so she. To unlock him. So I think it's a little bit of both. But I do think the initial intention is what you're saying, for sure, is that she was hoping.
To straddle the fence.
Way to be a politician.
Way to politic on this panel.
Speaking of CW, this is the weirdest episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend so far this season. I actually really love that show.
I need to watch it.
It's a good show.
Is it?
Yeah, it had a lot to overcome with, like, just the marketing was poor. The show itself is wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so back to our Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Seriously. Barbara.
So Barbara pretty much. So we pretty much go forward to Barbara ends up capturing them. They do the whole chase and they end up going to the cathedral.
Right. Were you guys expecting that hit? That T-bone?
I wasn't
that was
expecting
really
the
good.
hit, but
That was really awesome.
The camera work and the framing was very good that she was in his past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about camera, that shot, before we move on, where they have their rear view mirror and you're watching her, that was such a cool
And the road just zooming.
shot. Yeah.
So cool.
That was so dope. I was like,
This is one of the best shot shows on network television, for sure. It's really, there's a lot of artistry behind it. It's not just by the numbers, which a lot of stuff can be on network specifically.
I love the 180. I was gonna say 360. The 180 that this show has done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like from now, like because everyone I talk to now, they say what Mr. Begley's saying, that like this is a really good, that the show's so good now, it's shot so well.
Yeah.
It's like it's clearly like.
Did they clean house after season 1 with like?
Not completely.
I think they
they
played
did a
it too
little bit?
safe.
They retooled.
I think they just might have played it too safe, and then they're just like, well, we're probably gonna get canceled, guys. Balls to the wall time, and they just went crazy.
Yeah.
Kill everybody! Bring out the guns!
It's so much more violent and gritty.
It really is.
When the one guy in the flashback they cut off the arm,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, they're just gonna show it out of focus, and then they zoom down and it's just like gushing blood. I'm
Yeah.
like, is this The Walking Dead or Gotham?
Yeah.
And there's squibs like old '90s. I like that most of the blood is practical.
Yeah.
because it feels like the Tim Burton
Yeah.
Batman. It feels like this comic book grittiness, and not just this CGI mess that
Yeah.
sometimes stuff
Agreed.
like this can become.
And I like the Jim like gun show. Whenever he pulls out the gun and starts like taking them down, like when he breaks out and then he just shoots with the one-handed shotgun and just just shoots them both and then shoots Tabitha.
The gunfights in this season are so good,
Yeah.
over and consistently. The hand cannons last week. I know
Yeah.
you guys talked about this, but I mean, just the guns with
yeah,
chain
yeah.
guns, amazing.
Yeah. What do you guys think about what Leslie's going through? I feel like Leslie went through a lot this episode.
Yeah.
I think she's the most sympathetic girlfriend ever.
Right, because
Only
let me tell
because
you.
she's medically trained to understand what he's going through.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
Yeah,
That's true.
She
Because-
can give him a lot of benefit of the doubt medically, because
Yeah, she's not gonna. They can't stay together. There's no way she can go through this. Like,
Monse.
there's no way. As like a female, like the minute he kissed Barbara, and I was watching that, you're like,
she handled it very well.
He's trying to save the city.
yeah. And she said it right. Like, you still need to calm down. Like, you just have it all up. The way he tackles, I feel like, every case that way, where he's like, I am gonna do everything I can.
He makes out with everyone he interrogates. Like, hold on, baby, I got this. Come here. Mwah. Just Penguin's there. Come here, Penguin.
Come here, Penguin.
Mwah.
But you know what I mean? He goes balls to the walls on every case he gets. And then this one, it was just...
Yeah, he does go all the way in.
So you're sticking with that? You're unshipping them?
I think I just don't, like, after all this, after Lee being tied up and Lee hearing he is not who you think he is, like, all that, I don't see how that stays together. I don't see how that works out. There's no way.
I see her giving him a little more rope. And then screwing it up.
Okay.
I don't think this is it.
I think they pull a 24 season 1 finale at the end of the season and kill her off.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
That's what I think.
It's a good thing they're dating in real life. They can still see each other.
I think they're gonna. I don't know unless I'm missing something that Lee becomes a character in the comics that I don't know.
Well,
of.
her story in the comics is so small that that it seems unnecessary.
And like we talked about, it doesn't. They canon. They're like
whatever
canon.
They don't care about canon here. I
feel like they'll kill her off.
I've long held a theory that she is evil.
Yeah, I've also said that.
I think so. Yeah,
because nobody's that nice.
When she was first introduced, my wife and I, who watched this religiously, we were like, she's bad, right?
Yeah.
She's evil.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I've seen enough interviews where I don't think anybody else in the writers' room is thinking that.
Right.
Or is that what they want you to think?
I don't know.
Well,
what we do know is that she's pregnant with. The actress who plays her is pregnant in real life with the actor who plays
Ben
Jim Gordon. Ben McKenzie. With Ben McKenzie.
They take their role seriously.
Wow.
So unless she disappears,
Good job, real Jim, Ben.
Ben McKenzie.
It's method acting right there. That's what that is. It's that method.
Also, Betsy in the chat, she's tough and can clearly handle crazy. I'm with that.
I like their relationship. I don't want her to. You know what? She might. I
could see her leaving
dying.
town. I could see things getting too bad in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
That could happen.
And her just going like, you know what? I love you.
But I need
You've
to go.
got a lot of stuff to work out. But I'm gonna go to Metropolis.
Yeah.
I often wonder with shows like this though, because like the cable shows like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead kill off so many main characters that it kind of makes the network shows feel like they have to up their game.
Yeah,
and over the last few years, they've
Kinda done
been
that.
killing off main characters on other shows. We talked about how comic book shows. That's why Barbara Gordon's still alive, because the villain always lives on, but the hero always needs that added push.
Yeah.
And what's a better push for Jim than losing Lee?
That's
Yeah.
true. That's a good point. I hope you're wrong.
I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right about it, but I have a feeling that it might be that.
Yeah, I don't want to be right. I like them together,
Sounds
but
like a
I
country song.
actually.
I don't want to be right. The guy was singing it right before he got hit in the head with a shovel.
Like, I don't want to be. I don't want to
What
be
the hell
right.
is that? I
Hope
don't want
I'm
to be
wrong.
right.
I'm going with Steve's theory. I like that she leaves for a little bit. That's cool.
Okay.
And then maybe returns.
She'll just have a triumphant return.
And
All
then
right.
she's evil.
Anybody think the captain is a little too straight and narrow?
We spoke about this before.
Yeah.
I think the captain is intentionally that straight and narrow because the city's eventually going to get him.
Yeah.
The city's eventually going to kill him, and he's going to be a legacy or a mantle character for Gordon.
Well, because also, as soon as they introduced him, I was like, I see what they're doing. The captain is one extreme and Bullock is the other.
Right.
And Jim's in the middle,
Yeah.
is what I've always thought. And I'm sure you guys
that'll
have
work.
talked about this before.
Well, I think the captain is what Jim wants to be.
but the
and then-
city can't be
Bullock,
that in
and
this
Bullock
city.
is
Exactly.
Bullock is the reality of what
He's my favorite character
is what
in
a
the
cop
show.
in Gotham
Bullock.
needs to be.
Bullock is my favorite
All right.
character
So
in the
rounding
show.
up the
he needs to be the cop the city needs.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
so rounding up, they end up. They end up getting away. She ends up falling to. We thought to her death.
Yeah,
But
we
she's
were
just
all
in a-
shocked at the
Yeah.
commercial
Yeah.
break.
I thought she was dead.
I'm glad she's not.
I was a little.
Yeah, me
I
too.
saw a couple people in the chat saying they smiled a little when she was dead, and I was like, I actually kind of, I was okay with like, okay, is she gone now?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So she ends up surviving, and then they end up finding the mayor, and then we end up going to the end where they end up punching Gallivan and saving. Arresting Gallivan, right?
Yes.
And they arrest
Okay,
him.
so
Gallivan,
all
there's
that.
that T.
So
Arresting the miniseries from
Arresting the-
ABC.
Yeah.
All
We tell
right.
them all the time.
All right, guys, that's the predictions.
Let's hit predictions. I don't know.
And now, you're after.
Somebody go first, other than me.
I was gonna go with
All right.
Steve. Only because Steve's my prediction guy. I trust him. I trust him to always have something for me, so I can think while he's going in. All right.
I think Gallivan gets out of jail because those charges are rather flimsy. I think Penguin and Riddler are going to team up and take down what's left of Gallivan's hold in the city, which would be Tabitha, Butch. Zaz would fall into that line in some way, and then the next 2 weeks is going to be them trying to take it down, and then it's going to be Gordon trying to just keep normalcy within that world, and he's going to keep going cray.
Okay.
He should take some leave, is what I'm saying. Gordon should take some leave, and he won't.
Okay.
And he won't. I still think Gordon will kill Barbara. I'm still.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen, especially after today's episode. I was like, "There's no way you keep toying it. It's gonna happen." But I hope it doesn't happen. If it happens like at the end of the season, maybe not mid-season, but if it happened at the end, I'd be okay with that. I'm just really enjoying the actress's character and her take on Barbara. I'm really enjoying it. Barnes, I think he's gonna die too.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Real soon. Like
Why am I
next
forgetting
soon.
who Barnes is?
Captain
again?
Barnes?
Captain.
Oh yeah, Captain. Yeah,
I think
Captain.
he'll die at the mid-season finale.
I think of him as the Thing from Fantastic Four in
Yes.
2005. That's the only thing I can think of.
But I say he's done by mid-season.
All right, Mr. Begley.
I think that is it fair to gauge it based on the promo for next week? Is that okay?
That's
I
use all information you have.
I feel
Yeah.
like Gallivan is going to take a backseat for a while because that's what the show does. It builds up a character and then it kind of focuses on somebody else for a little bit. And I think that he's going to take a backseat, be in jail, maybe be trying to play the martyr role. Like, I've been wrongly accused while trying to maybe clear his name or have Tabitha break him out will be the dual plan going, where even though maybe Tabitha will be doing that, going rogue on her own.
Tabitha's shot. We forgot about that.
Oh yeah, she got
Tabitha
shot.
got shot in
She
the
gets
arm.
wounded.
She's wounded.
I think that that Penguin and Riddler are going to start cooking up some really violent stuff in Gotham, which then pushes Jim to a breaking point, which then leads to the mid-season finale where the captain gets killed, and Jim is left like hopeless, dejected, and a really depressing way to end the season before Christmas.
That's a good time for Lee. That's a good time for Lee to leave as well.
Yeah, and Lee, I think he's going to be left at the finale like
alone
and hopeless. I think is what's going to happen.
All right,
That's good.
That was a pretty good prediction. I like
good.
that.
I think it's what's going to happen.
I'm just gonna stick with my original ones at Barnes. I think Barnes is on the payroll for Gallivan. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's looking less and less like that, but I'm gonna stick with it.
We're glad you know that.
All right. I think Tabitha is gonna break away and be with
Butch.
They're gonna break away and they're gonna team up. That's all I got right now.
So Tabitha's a new Fish Mooney.
How about that?
That's
Yeah,
actually,
I did
that's
say-
actually
I did
great.
say- I did say-
Yeah, 'cause-
I did say because he likes strong women.
I mean, and she can do it. and
Yeah.
she could take, but yeah.
All
Do we have anything
right.
for Catwoman? Do we
No,
have anything for Selena? I
no,
don't think.
nothing yet.
Oh,
Nothing yet.
what? That girl was so mean. I know she's an evil kid.
Well,
but-
actually, her and St. Cloud, that has to come to a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the next 2 weeks as well. I just don't have a prediction.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I have no idea where they're going with that.
Selena Kyle wins. That's all I
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
Ray Collins.
Everybody, Begley.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it was
thanks
a blast.
for joining.
I'm your host. I'm Michael Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_Drew, Michael EAL. If you guys haven't already, please go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe, share, like us. iTunes, SoundCloud, all that jazz. Steve, where can they find you?
They can find me right here, right now, but also on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I'm doing about 5 shows, 6
like
shows this week.
I like that. That was
And
a
I
good
tweet
joke.
about them fairly regularly. Also, this shirt courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com.
Excellent. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. You can catch me on Wicked City here at AfterBuzz and on Scorpion. What about you, Ben?
Hey! I'm Ben Begley. You can find me at the Ben Begley, and also on Guilty Movie Pleasures every Tuesday from 1 to 2 we go live, and then it's also on YouTube and all that stuff. You can find our past episodes. Face Off is one of my favorite episodes. And also, the movie comes out, The Funhouse Massacre, this Friday the 13th, select theaters nationwide. You can go to funhousemassacremovie.com to find all the theaters and listings and watch the trailer and all that good stuff. And follow us at Funhouse Mass, because Twitter has a character limit. So it just sounds like we have a church and a funhouse mixed together, but I promise you, it's not that. It's a horror comedy.
Well, that's the sequel.
That's the sequel. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.